I have in front of me three of the most popular ultra-portable piano-centric keyboards, and this is the Yamaha NP-35, Casio CT-S1-76, and on my left, the black unit is the Korg Liano. I'll be pitting these keyboards against each other across 35 points, some objective points and also subjective points which you just cannot tell from just the spec sheet alone. Let's start with point number one. All three of these keyboards cost exactly the same as at the time of this video, which is $350. Round number two, let's look at the number of keys. All these three keyboards have box-style piano kind of keys, but they are not weighted. For the Yamaha, we get 76 keys. On the CT-S1, we get also 76 keys. And on the Korg Liano, you get 88 keys. So it would look like Korg would win this round. The number of keys is just half the story. How do these keys feel in real life? Personally, and this is subjective, I prefer the keys on the Korg Liano the best, and followed up by the Yamaha. The CT-S1-76 is also not bad, but these two are just better. And because of this, the Korg gets 3 points, 2 points to the Yamaha, and 1 point to Casio. For a piano-centric keyboard, note polyphony is important because it determines how many notes you can sustain and sound at the same time. And Korg wins this round because it has 120 note polyphony, whereas the Casio and Yamaha only have 64 notes polyphony. All these three keyboards have varying levels of touch sensitivity which you can configure, but the Korg here has only 3 levels of touch sensitivity, whereas these other two keyboards, the Casio and the Yamaha, has 4 levels of touch sensitivity. What about the number of onboard sounds on these keyboards? As these are portable keyboards, you want to rely on the sounds that are built into the keyboard without depending on external sources. And for this, the Casio gets the most points because it has 61 sounds, and the Yamaha has 15 sounds. The Korg has the fewest number of sounds at 8 sounds. However, the number of sounds is just half the story. How do these sounds sound? And let's have a listen to the 3 most bread and butter sounds, which is the grand piano, the default grand piano on these 3 keyboards, the electric piano, and of course the jazz organ, which is most often used by keyboard players doing gigs and performances. The default grand piano sound on the Korg Liano sounds the most detailed and is really flexible whether you're playing fast pieces or slow, mellow ballads. And for this, I actually prefer the piano sound on the Korg, and the piano sound on the Yamaha comes in second, whereas I feel that the piano voice on the Casio sounds a little bit compressed. And for this, Korg gets 3 points, Yamaha 2 points, and the Casio gets just 1 point. Personally, I prefer the electric piano sound on the Korg keyboard because it's grittier and it also has a wider dynamic range. The Yamaha comes in second. It has a pretty bright electric piano sound, which I also do like, but personally, I prefer the ones on the Korg keyboard. For the jazz organ, yet again, I love the sound of the jazz organ on the Korg. It just sounds so much better than the ones on the Yamaha and the Casio, but Casio does sound, again, pretty compressed. You know, it is what it is. Korg gets 3 points, Yamaha 2 points, and the Casio gets 1 point. Before we carry on with this video, do not forget to check out my recommended keyboards, pianos, and music learning apps in the description. These being ultra-portable keyboards, the speaker system, the amplification system on these are important, and the Korg has the most powerful amplification system at 8 watts, and the Yamaha and Casio has 6 and 6.5 watts, and because of this, Korg wins this round. However, the power of the amplification is just half the story. How do the speakers sound in real life? I definitely prefer the speakers on the Liano. It sounded the best with good low range as well as a great dynamic range. The Yamaha also has a pretty good pair of speakers, and that can be attributed to it being on both the left and right side, giving you a good stereo separation, but it is just not as good as the one on the Korg Liano. And the one that I feel performs not the best is the one on the Casio CT-S1-76. Out of these 3 keyboards, the Korg does not support voice layering. Casio and Yamaha supports voice layering, and you can also adjust the volume mix between the layers. However, Casio takes it a step further. You can also choose to target your sustain pedal towards whichever layer that you prefer, which you cannot do on the Yamaha. And because of this, the Yamaha gets 1 point, and the Casio gets 2 points, and the Korg gets nothing. None of these keyboards can split 2 different sounds on the left and right side of the keyboard. However, on the Casio, there are a couple of presets that is already pre-programmed from the factory with a split configuration of one voice on the left and the right side of the keyboard. And for this, the Casio wins this round. For a piano-centric keyboard, half pedal support is important, and the Korg and Yamaha supports half pedal if you have the correct pedal. However, the Casio CT-S1-76 does not support half pedal. I will leave links in the description for the optional pedal for the Yamaha and Korg that supports half pedaling in the description. Damper resonance is a feature that adds more realism and detail to a piano voice, and only the Yamaha supports damper resonance, whereas Korg and Casio does not. Let's talk about the onboard effects that you can apply to the sounds. On the Casio, you can apply 24 different reverb settings, and on the Yamaha, you have just 6 reverb environments. However, on the Korg, the reverb is just an on-off switch, and it also has a chorus. Because of this, the Casio gets the most points. Next is Yamaha, and the Liano is the most basic of these 3 keyboards when it comes to effects. On the Casio, you can apply 10 different EQ curves, whereas on the Yamaha and Korg, there's no such feature. All 3 keyboards gets a point for supporting transposition, which is important for a performing keyboardist. The Casio and the Yamaha, being a 76-key keyboard, also supports octave shift, so you can actually get a musical range beyond 76. However, on the Korg, because it is 88 keys, you don't really need an octave shift, and there's no winner for this round. While all three keyboards supports USB MIDI for use with music production software or music learning apps, the one I recommend is in the description. The Casio uses micro USB versus Korg and Yamaha which uses USB Type B. And I don't like micro USB because it's just very flimsy and it's a legacy thing. And I much prefer Type B, although frankly, in 2024, we should have moved on to USB-C. All three of these keyboards have an inbuilt audio interface, which means that you do not need to buy an additional audio interface if you're trying to transmit and receive audio data from other devices. All these three keyboards have a headphones come line out output, which I don't prefer. I would prefer dedicated 1/4 inch, but it isn't, and that is how it is. However, the Casio and the Korg uses the mini jack, which I don't prefer because it's just less robust, whereas on the Yamaha, it is using a 1/4 inch, and therefore the Yamaha wins this round. Streaming audio over wireless Bluetooth. Only the Casio supports this with an optional module, and the Yamaha and Korg does not have this feature. As a portable practice piano, having an onboard metronome is also useful. All three keyboards have a very useful onboard metronome, and each of these get 1 point. What about recording your performance for review? And the Yamaha and Casio have a simple single-track, single-song recorder for you to record and then review your own playing. The Korg does not have an onboard song recorder. I have found the best bundled deals for each of these three keyboards with the best prices for you, and you can find it in the description. Keyboards these days tend to come with a dedicated Android or iOS app to make it more convenient to select sounds on these keyboards or to extend the functionality. On the Yamaha, we have the Smart Pianist app, which I really like, and on the Casio, we have the Music Space app, not as polished as the one on the Yamaha, and Korg does not have a dedicated app for controlling the Liano. While all these three keyboards come with the music rest, as you can see here, the one that is the most robust is the one found on the Yamaha, and second is the Casio. The most flimsy, which is just literally a wireframe, is the Korg Liano. So 3 points to Yamaha, 2 points to Casio, and 1 point for the Korg. These are ultra-portable keyboard, and we're expected to carry them around, shift them from room to room, chuck them at the back of our car, bring them on public transport. So build quality is important. The Casio feels the best made, and the Yamaha second. The Korg just feels a little less premium than the other two keyboards. The weight of these keyboards are important, and the Casio is the lightest at just 5.3 kilograms, and the Korg and Yamaha weighs in at 6 kilograms, and Casio wins this round. The width of ultra-portable keyboard is important because it determines if you can just slot it horizontally at the back of your car. And the Korg Liano comes in at 128 centimeters, the Yamaha second at 126 centimeters, and the shortest would be the Casio at 114 centimeters. However, how efficient and effective these manufacturers use the width to give you the number of keys, and here the Liano wins because even though it is the longest at 128, if you average it out to 88 keys, you are essentially just getting 1.45 centimeters for each key that it takes up. And the Yamaha is the least efficient in using the key width because of these two speakers on the side. So you can see that the Korg Liano isn't very much wider than the Yamaha, but you get 88 keys versus 76. The depth or how deep these keyboards are is also important. And the Liano here has the biggest depth, which comes in at 29 centimeters, whereas the Yamaha is 26 centimeters deep. The Casio packs it the best at 25.8 centimeters. We can go through all the numbers till the cows come home. However, in real life, the ergonomics, how do these three keyboards fare when it comes to actual portability? Surprisingly, the Korg Liano feels really portable, even more so than the Casio and the Yamaha. It's just the way that it's designed. I actually prefer carrying the Liano around, and the fact that it also has 88 keys. The Casio is the next one that is pretty portable, but not as good as the one on the Korg. The Yamaha feels most unwieldy, and I'm least likely to take it out of these three keyboards. All three keyboards can be operated via AA batteries, which are easily available, and that's important for a portable keyboard you're just going to bring around with you everywhere. Many people who buy these keyboards are going to be beginners, and having some bundled lessons with this keyboard is useful. On the Yamaha, you get 3 months subscription to Flowkey, and on the Korg, you get 3 months premium subscription to Scoof. On Casio, you do not get any free bundled software. All these three keyboards are piano-centric, and having a pedal for sustain is essential. On the Korg Liano, a pedal is bundled with the set. On the Casio and the Yamaha, there is no bundle pedal, and it is an optional which you need to buy. Smash that like button if you found this comparison useful in helping you make a better buying decision. My name is Jeremy C, and I'll see you in my next video.